Tip number 1. Always use rulers. No matter what you are drawing, if it has straight lines, you're going to want to use rulers. This is because, well, especially airplanes, you don't want to make the fuselage look all bumpy and bad. The wings should look nice, the horizontal and vertical stabilizer should look nice, so make sure to use a ruler. Any kind of ruler would work, even a Lego piece would work. Anything that's straight you could draw would work, so definitely use a ruler. That is a good tip that you should use. Tip number 2. Always use references. I recommend some great sites like Jet Photos, airplanepictures.net, or planespotters.net, but of course, you can do whatever you want. Now, if you don't use a reference, your planes will most likely be out of proportion and not looking like the real one. If you use a reference, you'll make sure to get every detail and livery. So yeah, that's just tip number 2, and you can really get your reference anywhere. I just recommend using plane spotting photos because they are usually really clear and nice. Tip number 3. Always shade your airplanes. Now this might sound obvious, but it's actually really essential to making your airplanes look less like rectangles and more like tubes. Now, if you want to learn how to shade, there are plenty of good tutorials on the internet. I actually have a tutorial on how to draw an airplane, and that covers all aspects of shading on an airplane. Now, I would recommend going and watching that. It's on my channel. It's pretty recent. So shading is really important to get a really nice look on the airplane. Tip number 4. You have to be willing to spend a decent amount of money on art supplies. Now, I'm not saying you have to buy, 72-pack Copic markers, a bunch of Faber-Castell colored pencils. You don't need anything too fancy or too expensive. You just have to be willing to spend up to maybe $50 on nice art supplies if you want to get all the colored pencils and markers and pencils. So I actually use Castle art supplies for my assorted pencils, and for the outline of my airplanes I use a 0.9 mechanical pencil. Now for colors I use felt tip pens. And if you want an entire list of all my drawing supplies, which I won't go in depth right now, there's a link in the description that leads you to a list, and it has every drawing supplies that I use. So if you want to get the same maybe shade of colored pencils, you can just buy what I did. And yeah, so you don't need any high-end stuff, just stuff so your drawing looks good. Tip number 5. When drawing airplanes, at first, try to stray away from the really complicated liveries. A few basic ones and good ones to start with are Air France, Delta, or just anything that's really simple. Stuff like JetBlue, their tails are sometimes hard to draw, so don't focus too much on the livery, just focus on the plane and shading and how it looks overall. You can get into more complicated liveries later, but for now, I just recommend sticking with the easy liveries to get you into the fundamentals of drawing airplanes, not just designing the liveries. Tip number 5. Receive tips. Share your drawing online, social media, or with your family and friends, and they can give you nice tips. I actually get really nice tips from my followers, and they help me improve my drawings, and that's why I am where I am today. Now, if you ever get hate comments, that's fine, just blow them away. If they're constructive criticism, that's good, learn from that. So yeah, just don't be afraid to get tips. They can really help you grow as an artist. And my final tip for you is don't give up. Keep drawing over and over, even though some drawings may look amazing and some drawings look like trash. Just keep drawing. You'll get better and better, and you'll feel better about your drawings as you go on. So just keep practicing, and don't forget to have a lot of fun. Share it with other people, and that's all I really have for you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.